Hello everybody. I hope I'm audible. Uh, Welcome to this Instagram live session. My name is Dr. Pragnya. I'm a primary physician with MFine. So I would like to begin the session with first wishing you all a happy Navratri. Uh, Please do share this video with. Please do share this live with people who you think might have issues related to this particular session. So the topic for this session is menstrual health and menstrual hygiene. So you can we have our esteemed guest who would be joining us for this. So if you have any other if you have issues related to menstrual health, you can put it down in the comments here. So for Dr. Anjali to join our live. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon to everyone who has joined.
Yes. Thank you for joining us with us, Dr. Anjali. A little bit about Dr. Anjali. She is from CK Birla Hospital, and she is an obstetrician, gynecologist, and a laparoscopic expert with 29 years of experience. And she works tirelessly even during COVID time. So she's given us her precious time so that she could answer queries of our users here. So, ma'am, would you like to add something about the topic that is mental health, menstrual health and hygiene?
Yeah. So once again, good afternoon, everyone who has joined us. And today we'll be discussing a very important topic which concerns practically every woman. We'll be talking about issues like health, the products, issues, and basically whatever you would want to ask me.
Ma'am, there seems to be some background noise. Could you?
1 second. Is it still there?
Like, there's a little bit of.
From this side, it appears to be clear. That's okay. Keep some.
Guru is saying quality.
Is the noise still there?
Oh, now it's better. Now there's nothing. Now it's fine. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so let's just begin with just discussing about menstrual health and such. Right, so from menstruation to menopause, productive years, women do a lot of issues while having periods, including and multitude of issues. So, and that too, menstruation being a taboo, I guess that many women are ashamed to speak about it as such. So we did have a ban on pads in 1993 pads, and now we have a full-fledged feature film based on the Tamil Nadu activist, that is Padman. So, what do you think our thing would be to use the
Dr.
who do?
Padma, I'm losing you. I am also struggling to listen to you.
So do you have a can you hear me?
Second.
Your voice,
Hello? Yeah.
your voice.
Your voice is breaking.
Oh, okay. How about you? Is it still like,
Hello? Hello?
hello? Hello.
Yeah,
Uh,
little better.
little better? Okay.
Little better. Little better.
All right. All right. Fine. Okay. I think we have a few live questions that are coming already. So, let me just see. So there's somebody who talked about man food. Okay. Some background noise.
बस किसी को या किसी को बुला लो कोई किसी को देख पा Yeah, the voice is breaking. Let me just try some other position and see if it works.
Okay. And how about is my voice okay? Can somebody tell me?
Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, Pratnya.
Ma'am, your voice
Is
is
it?
clear. Is mine clear to you?
No, your voice is not very clear to me. That's why I'm struggling to listen to your questions.
All right. Could you just hold on one sec? Let me just put in my headphones and see if it gets better.
मेरे वाले headphones better. ये नहीं वहाँ से लिया। ये जाएगा कहीं जाएगा हाँ इसमें जाएगा।
Okay.
Yeah.
Am I audible now? Is it good?
Better.
All right. Fine. So I guess we'll start with the live queries as such, ma'am, because we're losing time also. So so we'll start with the first question, being what foods do we avoid during menstruation?
What would be?
What foods do we avoid during menstruation?
In
Someone's
terms
asked
of
that question.
food,
Yes, in terms of food.
there is practically no need to avoid anything during menstruation. You can eat everything and eat healthy food, lots of fruits, a lot of vegetables, a lot of good homemade food. And this is the time when many women actually face some kind of abdominal cramps or something. So anything, any food which causes bloating or any cramping should be avoided. But per se, there is no food which should be avoided. Anything which is clean or hygienic and homemade is absolutely fine to be eaten during periods. And a lot of women
Right.
actually ask me what physical activities also to avoid during periods. So here also there's practically nothing which you need to avoid if you've been doing some kind of exercises or some kind of physical activity schedule which you might have. You can practically continue with whatever you've been doing earlier, but anything which makes you feel a little uncomfortable, obviously don't do it. But in terms of food, in terms of exercise, you can practically do everything.
Right. Right. Ma'am. Can you hear me now? Is it like much better? My voice?
Little better.
Little better. All
Are you
right.
able to hear me clearly?
Yes, you're absolutely clear. Let me just see if there is something I can do for this. Meanwhile, let me just move on to the next question. Okay, someone's asked,
Good. Just get someone where I can keep the phone. Yeah. Pradnya, carry on.
yes, sorry. So someone's asked, Heavy Meenakshi 13780 has asked, heavy flow and clots to stop, any remedy? So basically she's complaining of probably heavy flow with blood clots during her period. So she's asking for remedies. I mean, there are various causes as well and remedies.
So, Meenakshi, more than the remedy, first of all, we need to find out why are you having heavy periods. So remember, a normal woman is supposed to have periods which can last anything from 2 to 8 days, and typically the flow should not have clots. Right? For every woman, things are different. For someone, it could be 3 days. For someone, it could be 5 days. But let's say in case your cycle earlier was just 3 days and now it is going on for about 6 or 7 days, and earlier the flow was not too much and now you're passing clots, we need to understand what is the cause of the heavy periods, and then of course we can give you medicine or some treatment to make sure that your flow is not heavy. And yeah, so it is more than the treatment, it is to find out what is it which is leading to heavy periods. So you definitely need to meet a gynecologist. The gynecologist probably would take a detailed history, get an ultrasound done, do an internal checkup, and then whatever the diagnosis is made, accordingly then we give a treatment to make sure that your periods are back on track.
Yes. Absolutely, ma'am, you're right. Plus, moreover, most people with heavy periods and clots, in case they do not reach out earlier, then they have the chance of suffering from anemia and various other issues also.
Absolutely.
So,
See, for all of you, I would want to tell you, as it is in our country, women are actually on the anemic side, which means that we have a big problem of anemia. It has got multiple reasons. Women are not very careful about the diet, plus the kind of diet which we all eat, heavy periods, frequent childbirths, abortions, infections, everything contributes to anemia, a lot of intestinal infections, like worm infestations also. So there are multiple reasons for anemia, and this actually adds up to this. So,
yes,
like I said in the beginning, also, in case you have your periods, please make sure that you're eating healthy, you're having a lot of green vegetables, a lot of good food, and of course, keep getting your hemoglobin checked up.
right. Yes, yes. So, another thing is that one of the questions that has come up here by Maddie Madhu is something that's pretty much interesting right now. So, so we have about 58% of Indian women have access to sanitary pads now, so local sanitary pads or even tampons as such. But about 430 million sanitary pads are annually used, and then there's like this buildup of waste. So there's an emerging trend about an eco-friendly option like menstrual cups is coming up. So our question from the user is that how is the switch from pads to menstrual cups? As in, and I would like you to shine some light on how what are the benefits and disadvantages of using menstrual cups compared to
Okay.
sanitary pads?
So let's first talk about what are the options which are available to us. So number one is obviously the sanitary pads, which we all have been using from the time we started with her periods. And this is about 30 or 35 years back. When I was a young teenager, I started getting my period, and that was the first time the Sushmita Sen advertisement came, where she, for the first time endorsed Stay Free. And there was a big campaign, how come now the sanitary pads have now come into the market. And before that, I remember my mom using a cloth pad. So it was a big switch from a cloth pad to the sanitary pad. And then of course, in the times to come, we had different variation of the pad. We had big pads, large pads, small pads, night pad with wings, fragrance pad, antibacterial pads, and
Etc.
multiple kind of things came up which actually eased the life of so many women. But now slowly and slowly we all started realizing that pads are not that simple also. I don't know, for all the viewers, that it takes almost 500 years for the pad to get disintegrated into the environment, to dispose of. Now, this is a big problem, a very, very big problem, which means aane wale time mein we'll have heaps and heaps of landfills which are just filled up with the sanitary pads. So now we have some pads which are biodegradable pads, which are now coming up in the market. So they are basically made with plant fibers. So they use banana fibers and they use bamboo fibers. So they basically work like any other pad. And the only thing is that they get decomposed into the environment much faster as compared to the normal pads. There is also a new emerging research which is coming up, which is saying that there is a chemical which is used in making up of these standard sanitary pads, which is called dioxin. Dioxin. Now, this is a compound which has been implicated in the ovarian cancers and a lot of cancers. Now, theoretically, we are still into the research stage, which means that probably this might be the reason for the increase in many cancers. So the problem with the pads are many, and probably in times to come, we might realize that these problems are actually real. So like I said, number one option is a biodegradable pads. Also, people who use tampons, the problem there is also exactly the same. You know, the tampons also take the similar time to degrade and decompose into the environment. The only thing is, using a tampon offers a little bit of convenience to the user, which means that once you insert it in, you can pretty much engage in any physical activity. You can go for swimming and a lot of things. So it's like very convenient for a person. But the composition of a tampon is pretty much similar to the composition of the standard pads. So now, what are you can say, the environment-friendly or the eco-friendly options for us? Now, there is something which is coming up lately kya pehle se bhi tha. So this is what is a menstrual cup. So the menstrual cup is like a small funnel-like device. It's usually made with a medical grade silicone. And the person is supposed to insert it into the vagina. Now there, instead of soaking the blood, it just collects the blood inside. So you fold it and you put it inside the vagina, and then once you leave it inside, it just opens up and forms a nice seal around the vagina. So the blood does not leak out and it sort of gets collected inside. So it's a very nice thing, and after every 6 or 7 hours, depending upon the flow you have, you can just remove it, throw it in the wash basin or into the toilet seat, and just wash it and again put it inside. Now this means that if you buy a cup, it can pretty much last you for next 5 to 7 years. And somebody had done a calculation wherein they say that the cost of using a cup per cycle is only 5 rupees. Only 5 rupees. Vis-a-vis, if you use a normal pad, which is I think about 40-45 rupees per cycle. If you use a biodegradable pad, it could be somewhere around 150 to 200 rupees. If you use a tampon, again it could be somewhere around 150 rupees. So economically, one of the very good options. Eco-friendly wise, very good option. But yes, I have seen in our countries, not many people are comfortable using a menstrual cup because, somehow I think we all have been raised in such a manner, probably where people don't feel like fiddling with their private parts so comfortably. But yes, I think it's worthwhile to experiment. So for all the viewers, you definitely can buy a menstrual cup. It is not very costly. It just costs about maybe 400-500 rupees. It comes in various sizes. So it basically comes in 3 sizes. There's small, medium, and large. And depending upon, let's say there's a girl who is young, who's not sexually active, who's not delivered vaginally, a small cup may be the right size for her. For someone who's sexually active, maybe a medium size could be the right size. For someone who has given birth vaginally, probably a large cup is required. But different brands have different sizes, so you might have to experience using different cups till you find the right cup size for you. And for 1 or 2 cycles, you might find it a little difficult. You might find it a little sort of uneasy. But once you get used to it, you would not like to switch back to the pad or the tampon. That's for very, very sure. So menstrual cup, very good option. And now you also have cloth pads coming back again. So these are now stitched pad. I remember in olden times, my mom gave me some homemade style cloth pad. This is about, I actually have to think I'm 55. This was, I had my first period when I was 12. So which means 33 years back. No, more than that. Yeah. 43 years back. Yeah. Oh my God. So much of time back. So now you have cloth pads coming up. These are pre-stitched ones. And yeah, how time flies. Yeah. So, I mean, these are also good options. The only thing is you might have to use them, sort of change them more frequently, because obviously staining could be a problem because they don't have a plastic undercover. So, it's a good idea to switch to a menstrual cup.
I think that was like a very detailed and comprehensive evaluation of menstrual cups and their advantages as such. And as you said, it's mostly fear and stigma of using cups. And plus, this, I think, even when I had my first period, I also used the cloth first, and then we've been used to sanitary pads too. So, ma'am, there are more questions. I will just start quickly studying them because a lot of queries are coming up. So, I think Meenakshi is
I'm
asking.
losing you in between.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hello?
I'm saying I'm losing you in between.
Yes. Yes, now?
Better.
Can you hear me? All right. So, I'll just bring the mic a little closer. So, Meenakshi says, having pain in lower back sides and thighs, can't sit, stand, walk, or turn or bend. I think she's talking about, this is the same user who talked about having heavy bleeding and blood clots.
Okay, so little bit of pain during periods is fine. So pain in the lower abdomen, pain in the back is fine. So, and it's perfectly all right to take a painkiller once in a while. It's perfectly all right. But in case you feel that you regularly have to take a painkiller all 5 or 6 days, 3 times a day, then definitely this is not normal, and definitely we need to check and investigate. So, Meenakshi, please go to the gynecologist, get yourself examined nicely, because such a severe pain and very heavy periods is definitely normal. It's not normal and should be definitely investigated.
Yes. Yes. So, moving on to the next question. Hi, ma'am. I'm a 19-year-old virgin. I have been having smelly discharge a few months back. So I was experiencing pain in my abdomen pelvic region, and 2 to 3 times I have also had brown vaginal discharge. And the follow-up question is it cancer?
So every problem in the body, first of all, is not cancer. Okay? So somehow these days, because of the information overload from the Google and now of course Facebook and Instagram and whatever social media, everything comes to, oh my God, I have a cancer. So every problem in the life is not cancer, number one. So for a 19-year-old girl who's a virgin, I don't think so that there is a problem. And in case you feel that there is an abnormal vaginal discharge, which is foul, smelly, or at times reddish in color, probably you can meet a gynecologist. You know, we can do an ultrasound for you. We can do maybe 1 or 2 hormonal tests for you. A very common test which we like to do is a thyroid test. And in case those are fine, we pretty much don't have to do. Make sure that your weight is under control. So sometimes being overweight or maybe from the higher BMI side also leads to a lot of menstrual irregularity. So check on to all those things also.
Yes, right. And additionally, I would like to add this, that in case you have things like smelly discharge and things like that, maybe you should also speak to your gynecologist about a few ways in improving your menstrual hygiene. So,
Yes.
yes, ma'am. So, moving on to the next question. Sri asks, I have an endometriosis cyst of 2.5 millimeter. Is that harmful?
Is it 2.5 millimeters or 2.5 centimeters?
Millimeter. She said millimeters.
Very, very small. But endometriosis is something which definitely should be addressed and treated, because in case it is not treated, it can cause a lot of damage inside. So in case your diagnosis is very, very sure, you definitely need to sit with the gynecologist and plan what should be done further to avoid problems later on. So endometriosis is not a simple thing. It needs a proper plan of management.
Right. Right. So, I'll just start moving on to the other small questions that we have. Ayat Shahid Malik asks, ma'am, please share some measure to avoid overflowing while period. I think
Oh,
again she means
over.
to say overflow, overflow. Probably she's talking about. Huh.
See, there is nothing which you can do to make sure that your flow is less or more or whatever in a period. I mean, you can't do anything on your own to make sure that it is like this. So, like I said, in case your flow is excessive, or in case your flow is very scanty also, even that needs to be investigated. See, let's first talk about what is a normal period.
Yeah.
So, normal period is something which comes two to, which sort of lasts 2 to 8 days. It comes 22 to 35 days, which means if you're getting period, let's say after 22 days, a maximum up to 35 days, that much of variation is acceptable. Lasting for about 2 to 8 days, and you are not passing clots. Clot means heavy bleeding, right? So this is a normal period. But there's nothing which a person can do to make sure that the flow is less or more. And in case the flow is less or more, we definitely need to find out what is it which is now sort of made the period abnormal. Even scanty periods, for all of you to know, is not right. A woman must bleed for 3 to 4 days at least. In case the period is getting scantier, usually there is some hormonal problem like a thyroid problem, maybe PCOD, maybe of a higher BMI state. So even scanty periods are not good.
Yes. Right. And with the amount of rising menstrual health disorders, it's like at least 1 in 3 women have some kind of menstrual dysfunction in India, including, say, PCOS, hypothyroidism, and various other reasons why periods can be scanty or heavy. So, like you said, ma'am, even we've had a lot of patients on MSign who come and ask about their periods come into, they have regular periods of 30 to 32 days, but they have the notion that 28 is the right number. So that particular notion has to be, uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know,
So, there, like
yes,
I said, which is coming from 22 days to maybe 35 days, that's also normal. So, in case you've been getting your periods right from the beginning, every 35 days or maybe even 40 days, that's also normal. But in case earlier your period was, let's say, 25 days and now it is 40 days, now that is abnormal. Or in case maybe
yes,
earlier it was 5 days and now it's 20 days, that's abnormal. So whatever you've been having right from the beginning, that's normal for you. But now if the flow or the frequency has changed,
hello?
am I visible?
No, ma'am, there's a blue color. Yeah, now it's fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Let me move on to the next one. So someone asked, again, somebody has asked the question, is 1 day flow normal? So I guess
No,
we've covered that.
no,
Yes.
not
So
normal.
1 day is normal.
Please get it
Yes.
checked.
Yes. So somebody is asking a question about abdominal pain as such. So this person asks, it's not about periods, but sometimes suddenly I feel unbearable pain in the abdominal area, like I have to use a hot water bottle for the pain to reduce. What could it be?
So, like I said earlier, little bit of pain is fine, which means in 5 days, if you have to take maybe once or twice or even 3 times a painkiller, that's fine. But in case you need to take a painkiller 3 times a day, all 5 days, it's definitely not normal. In case the pain is so bad that you can't sit or stand or walk, that's also not normal. So again, the point is that you need to get yourself checked. The causes of pain could be infections, it could be fibroids, it could be endometriosis. The reasons could be many, so we need to check.
Right. So the user definitely needs an in-person examination for this particular issue, as well as further tests like ultrasound and everything. All right. So the next question is something regarding PCOS. One of the other issues with PCOS. So since we know that about PCOS affects around 1 in 10 women at least, and sorry,
I'm saying even more now. The statistics
even
say
more now. Yes,
1
probably
in
1 in 5. Yeah.
in urban scenarios.
Yes, true. So with the increasing issues of PCOD, it's just that the amount of associated issues are also there, like obesity, weight management, that is, as well as blood sugar control, as well as skin issues like acne and everything. But this person, Rao Priya, has asked about how do we manage to conceive, basically fertility. How do we deal with fertility in case of PCOS?
So not every PCOD patient finds it difficult to conceive. Many people conceive on their own, and the first piece of advice which we give to all our PCOD patients is that they need to work on their lifestyle, which means that they should be eating healthy, they should be exercising, they should be managing their sleep cycle well, they should be actively managing their sleep, and most of the times this only does the job, which means we don't have to put the patient on a medication. But in case the PCOD is bad and the couple is having trouble conceiving a baby, then of course we have a lot of options these days. There is something known as the ART, artificial reproductive technology, where we can do ovulation inductions, we can do a lot of other things to make a woman pregnant. So that's possible. So all the ladies out there, please don't despair. Help is always available, but I tell this to everyone, we all have to learn to become responsible and accountable towards our own health first. So you need to invest your effort into your health, and then only the doctor's effort also will bear the fruits. So don't just depend on medication. A lot can be done at your end also.
Yes, that is absolutely true, ma'am. The effort goes two ways. Treatment is always two-way street.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, Adeline asks, ma'am, even after making lifestyle changes, including everyday yoga, no sugar, no refined fat food, still I'm missing periods and having lots of acne. Please suggest something.
So, like I said, that the problem of PCOD is not a very simple problem. It's not that easy कि आपने diet ठीक कर ली, आपने exercise कर लिया तो ठीक हो जाएगा. Lot of stress also is a big reason for PCOD, and I tell this to everyone. 20 years back, or maybe 30 years back, you would have never seen your grandmoms, or maybe your great grandmoms, or maybe even your mom suffering from PCOD. Even till today, women from the lower socio-economic status do not by and large have PCOD, right? So probably they did not have those kind of work pressures or job pressures or ambition pressures in our life which women of today face. By saying that, I don't mean to say that you don't have to work. We all are professionals, of course. That gives us our identity. We have to do that. But remember, asking for too much of perfectionism in life is also bad. So please don't
Right.
put too much on yourself. You are a normal human being, and ask yourself only that much which we expect from a human being. You know, these days, women who are working, let's say, now working in the offices, at home, they're like housewives also, they are good mothers also, they're good wives also. So imagine the kind of pressure which a woman is facing these days. So that is also playing a part. So you need to do something to manage that stress also. Unfortunately, we cannot quantify the stress like we quantify the weight or maybe even the exercise कि आपने कितना घंटा exercise करी या आपने अपना BMI कितना कम कर लिया. I don't have a measure कि आपने अपना stress कितना कम कर लिया. This you would know yourself. So it's not that simple. Multiple factors which go into PCOS. Now, another thing which is very common is wrong sleep cycles. Uh, in our body, the hormones are released according to what is known as a circadian rhythm, day and night rhythm. But these days, women are working till 2 o'clock in the night, 3 o'clock in the night, getting up late in the morning. So that also disturbs the hormones. So like I said, the problems are multiple. But whatever you are doing, please don't stop it. If you're exercising, if you're eating healthy, please don't expect a miraculous result. It takes time for the results to show, and once the results start showing, they will be permanent. So please keep doing whatever you're doing. One fine day, things would be fine. So don't just stop it because you're not seeing a magic number on the weighing scale. Don't do that.
Yes, that's absolutely true. And stress does affect a woman's periods way more than we actually intend.
Absolutely. Very much.
Yes, ma'am. And plus, I think what ma'am's trying to also say is that consistency and persistence is the key to beating PCOS as such. So we have another 10 minutes of taking in queries. We'll try to cover as much as possible. Somebody has asked on behalf of their sister. My sister just turned 18. She's having a heavy flow, and even her periods come within 15-20 days. And also suffering from brownish discharge. What is the probable reasons and treatment? Please help. So another question that I'm clubbing with is my age is 18 years and I'm not getting regular periods. Basically, these are 18-year-olds and not taking, not having regular periods or heavy flows and stuff like that.
So in the beginning, when the periods start, the periods could be irregular. So periods could come late, they could come early, there could be intermenstrual spotting. But in case it is associated with some other things, like if you've been gaining weight, in case you've been getting acne which is out of proportion, in case you're getting a lot of facial hair, you're getting a lot of body hair, you're losing hair from the scalp. Now, this means that something is going wrong. So then, like I said earlier, you need to get yourself investigated. There could be multiple reasons. There could be simply a thyroid problem. There could be a prolactin problem. Simply a weight could be a problem. When we do the ultrasound, we can find out a lot more there. So, feel that after managing your diet and exercise, the periods are still not settling, please go and get yourself examined from a good gynecologist, and then we should be able to help you, definitely.
Yes, that is right. Plus, we do, during the menarche, that is the starting of periods, a lot of women, teenagers themselves face a lot of period problems. And instead of ignoring it, especially if you have heavy periods, then getting it evaluated would be early detection is key. That is.
Yeah.
So, suppose in the case of, there's a question from Dimple Pokley. Suppose in the case of PCOD or PCOS, many people don't get periods for 3-4 months, but once period occurs, it happens for around 7 to 15 days. So what do we say about that?
Yeah. So that's, of course, normal, not normal. Getting a period after 3 or 4 months is definitely not normal. Please do not wait for that long, because once you wait for that long, the inner lining of the uterus, which is called endometrium, becomes very thick. It tends to bleed for very long. The period could be heavy also. And I tell this to everyone, it's actually very important for a woman to have at least 6 to 7 periods a year. So if you're not getting a period, maybe 10, 15 days overdue, please meet a doctor, take something so that you get what is known as a withdrawal bleed. You must have a period. So minimum is 6 to 7 times a year. So not getting a period, 3 months, 4 months, waiting for that long is definitely not right.
Right, correct. So, we'll move a little bit from PCOS to the issues of breast. So, somebody called Stuti Gupta has asked us this question. I have fibroadenoma in the right breast of approximately 1.5 centimeters for 5 years. So, I'm 21 years old. Please suggest something.
So, fibroadenomas are benign tumors of the breast. Now, when I say tumor, first of all, does not mean cancer. Any growth in the body is called a tumor. Tumors could be benign, they could be cancerous, but fibroadenoma is a benign tumor of the breast. And in case you have been diagnosed by a doctor who has diagnosed you to be a fibroadenoma, I assume probably they would have done an ultrasound, if required, probably they would have done a FNAC or whatever needed to make a confirmed diagnosis, then you don't have to worry. A small fibroadenoma, 1 centimeter, we can just monitor it for, probably you can meet a doctor every 6 months. You can also do self-breast examinations to see how the things are going. And maybe every 6 months, meet your doctor to see if it is not growing too rapidly. But fibroadenomas, usually we don't have to worry.
Right, ma'am. That is right. So fibroadenoma being one of the, it's a very pretty common benign tumor, plus the
Yeah.
typical mouse in the breast, kind of a symptom that people talk about, and then they end up having pain during their period. So if you're having some kind of mass, you're having a self-breast examination, which ma'am really advocates a lot on her channel too, is extremely important, because that way you have early detection of anything, any tumor, any growth as such in the breast.
So we did a small video on our channel wherein we spoke about self-breast examination. Now, this is something which I feel is every woman must know this, how to do. And young, not so young, old, every woman must be doing this every month. So please do that. And if you notice anything amiss, please meet a doctor.
Right, right. So the next question is from Kausa Physio. How to treat urinary bladder infection with E. coli naturally, and suggest some factors which can worsen the condition. So it's like she's gotten a culture sensitivity done. She's asked for a natural remedy.
Sorry, I did not get the person's
Sorry.
name, but
Kausar Physio. Kausar.
Kausal.
Yes, Kausar.
So once you've got the infection and I assume it's a serious infection, please get it.
We lost you, ma'am.
Yeah. Beach notification. Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
1 second.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. He said there is a technical issue.
Hello. Can you see me,
Yes.
Pradnya?
No, ma'am, your voice is breaking. No. Hello?
Hello.
Ma'am, I can't see you. I mean, I can't hear you. Although,
Even I see you.
hello? There seems to be a technical issue. Meanwhile, I see that a lot of you have asked questions, and I'm sorry we cannot cover everything in a 1 hour live, but we will try to host more sessions since it seems like the demand is quite high for gynecological issues. Hello, ma'am.
I can't see you. I can hear you if that's okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. You can. No, your voice is breaking. I guess it's an internet issue.
Okay. What to do?
Okay, while ma'am is fixing her video, we would so a little bit about somebody is so a lot of questions here are being asked about periods once in a few months, periods once in many months. So like ma'am said, you need to have 6 to 7 periods in a year minimum, even if you've had other issues like PCOS. So make sure that if you are missing periods, you please do reach out to specialists even on M5 as such. Ma'am, can you hear me now?
I can
The
hear
video
you,
is
but I
like
can't
breaking.
see you.
It's all right. You can. I mean, the voice is also breaking. It's not coming completely. So. All right. Meanwhile, let me just talk a little bit about people asking about lifestyle changes as well as getting periods, 2 days periods or 1 day periods once in a long day. So scanty periods is pretty much important issue that we keep having.
All right, so we will try to connect with ma'am again. Meanwhile, let me just talk to you guys about less flow as such. So, and what you guys need to understand is that every woman's body is different. So somebody might have a 21-day period cycle with 4 days of bleeding, and somebody else might have 32 days of period cycles with, say, 3 or 4 days of bleeding. But if you are having only 1 day bleeding, 2 day bleeding, or period once in 4 months and things like that, then you will have to definitely get yourself evaluated. So since there is okay, we have ma'am again. We'll just see if she's able to join. Sure, Kuranji will try to do a live session on pregnancy too. This was a very broad topic, so we have had a lot of queries. Please do DM us your queries. We'll try to answer them one by one, because not everything can be covered on the live session. You can also consult with Dr. Anjali as well as other gynecologists present on the M5 platform. So we're waiting for ma'am. Let's just see if she's able to join. Meanwhile, so a lot of people have also asked about endometriosis, cysts, and basically tumors and issues like that. That definitely needs a lot of evaluation, investigation as such. But please do remember as such that periods does not mean, having tumors does not mean cancer. So there is some issue with ma'am. She isn't able to join. Probably a technical issue. So somebody is talking about irregular periods. So let me talk a little bit about periods and their irregularities as such. Not PCOD is not the only reason why periods can be either less number of days or less number of the period between the cycles is more or something like that. So irregularities have a lot of reasons. One being PCOS, one being hypothyroidism. And then your risk increases in case you're smoking, in case you have another chronic disease like diabetes. If you are overweight and if you have not been doing physical activities, and if you've had extreme stress, or you are under extreme duress, and especially during these COVID times. So all these reasons, multiple lifestyle factors. I would say that the trend is increasing because not only of lifestyle factors, but also because of early detection, and more people are coming forward to get their issues treated early. So there isn't an issue. It isn't incurable. You just have to reach out at the right time. You can speak to our doctors online too. So let's just see again if we can get if we can get Dr. Anjali back on again. We're waiting for her. For any of these PCOS related issues and your periods as such, to get a more comprehensive evaluation, please do speak to a gynecologist online at least to get a better understanding.
I think we've got ma'am back.
Okay. There seems to be a constant issue with respect to this. I think there's a technical issue. Meanwhile, what do we do? We'll let me try answering a few other queries. So most of the people who have asked here have come for PCOS or issues like that. Oh yeah, somebody's asking also about diet as such. So yeah, diet is very important. Now PCOS is not only associated with irregular periods. It's also about weight gain,
obesity. We've got ma'am again. I'm really sorry for this inconvenience. It's just that I think it can't be avoided. So taking dairy products as such while having PCOS, you will have to speak to your speak to a dietitian.
all right. So all right. So since we have had issues with reconnecting with ma'am, I would have to wrap this session up. So with respect to menstrual health and hygiene as such, we have talked a lot about what a normal period for a woman means. Right? It isn't the 28 and 4-5 days. There's no fixed value. So the range changes. Plus lifestyle issues, yes, a lot of this. So someone's talking about phone and electronic devices and everything. So since yes, all these do affect your periods because it's all a chain of events. So suppose you have a phone and you are looking at the screen time, you're sleeping late. The more excessive screen time that you are having, the more issues you're going to have to fall asleep because the sleep hormone as such, melatonin, is not produced when you're continuously looking at the screen. So when you do not have a proper sleep cycle, it can increase stress during the day, and it will in turn cause an issue with your periods. So thank you everybody for joining. We unfortunately can't do more than this because we have only an hour to deal with all the queries. Thank you again for joining us. Please do speak to if you have issues. I've seen a lot of you have issues. Please do consult online with gynecologists on MFine, including Dr. Anjali, who we have on the MFine panel. So thank you again. Take care. Happy Navratri. And do join us for our next sessions. We'll try to keep more sessions on issues, gynecological as well as obstetric issues. Thank you so much, and have a nice day.